You have $100, not 10,000, not a windfall from a relative you barely knew, not a bonus that hit at exactly the right moment. $100, the amount that vanishes in a weekend without a receipt to show for it, the amount you've spent on things you cannot name by Monday morning, the amount that feels too small to matter and too tight to spare, and somehow both of those things at the exact same time. This is where it starts. Not with a perfect strategy, not with a brokerage account you spent 6 months researching, not with a financial advisor in a glass office explaining your risk tolerance. It starts with $100 and a decision that feels almost embarrassingly small, given the size of what you're actually trying to build. You make the decision anyway. You set up the automatic transfer. You pick the index fund, probably the S&P 500, probably through a Roth IRA or a basic brokerage account, nothing exotic. You don't overthink it, because overthinking is exactly what kept you from doing this last year and the year before that. You click confirm, nothing happens. The account shows $100. The market moves 0.3% and your $100 becomes $99.70. You check it 3 times before bed. This is the beginning, and it looks nothing like what you imagined. My name is Dave, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money actually behaves when most people aren't watching it. If you're someone who wants to understand what small, consistent decisions really do over time, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it changes how you see $100. The account just sits there. You feed it $100 every month like a plant you're not sure is alive. Some months the number climbs, some months it drops. You are 6 months in and the balance reads $578. You already did the math before you started. You knew it would land somewhere around there. $578 is not a number that changes your life. It is not a number you mention at dinner. It is a number that exists quietly inside an app you check less than you used to, because the checking stopped producing any feeling worth seeking. Here's the thing most people miss about this phase. This is not failure. This is exactly what it is supposed to look like. The first 6 months of investing $100 a month is not a success story. It is a habit. And habits, before they produce visible results, produce only themselves. You are building the consistency muscle in a gym where the mirrors don't show progress yet. You show up anyway. You make the transfer. The machine accepts it without a single word of acknowledgement. Think about that for a second. No notification. No congratulations. No progress bar filling up. Just a number that barely moves. And yet, this is the most important phase of the entire process. There is a version of you that stops here. Not dramatically. Not with a decision to quit. Just a month where the transfer doesn't happen because things were tight. Then another month. Then the account sits at $5,778 for 4 months untouched. And you stop thinking about it, and then you stop logging in, and then a year passes and the habit is gone. The $5,078 is still there, earning almost nothing because you never moved it into anything that grows. And here is what I want you to hear directly. That version of you is not lazy. That version of you is human. Commenter at ifyouarewad.bito put it perfectly, and I'll read it word for word because it deserves to be said out loud. Most people don't fail because they lack $100. They fail because they quit after 3 months and convince themselves it's not worth it. That is the real enemy, not the market. Not the balance. The 3-month quit, the gap between knowing what to do and continuing to do it when nothing visible is rewarding you for doing it, that is where most people quietly exit. You don't exit. You don't know yet what that decision is worth, but you will. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but 20 or 30 years feels overwhelming. I can't think that far ahead. And I get it. Here's a reframe that actually works. Don't think about 30 years. Think about this month's $100. One transfer, one decision. Then next month, same thing. The 30-year result is just 360 of those decisions stacked. Focus on the next one, not all of them. 12 months in, you have contributed $12 in the iTiers. The account reads $12,112. The market cooperated moderately and you gained $112 beyond what you put in. $112. You could have earned that in a single afternoon of overtime. It is not a headline number. You are smart enough to know that. And disciplined enough to stay anyway. But here's what actually happened in year 1 that the balance doesn't show. You built a relationship with delayed gratification that most people your age have never built. Every month you had $100 that could have been a dinner, a streaming upgrade, a random cart checkout, and it became a contribution instead. Not because you're morally superior to the person who bought the dinner, because you made one specific decision about one specific $100 and you kept making it. That decision, repeated 12 times, is the foundation, not the $1,312. The foundation is the repetition. And think about it this way. You also learned something about yourself this year that no financial textbook can teach you. You learned that your life did not deteriorate without the $100. The month didn't collapse. The things you thought you needed that $100 for mostly never materialized. And when they did, you found the money somewhere else. The $100 was never actually load-bearing in your monthly budget. It just felt like it was. Most people never test that feeling. You tested it 12 times, and it was wrong 12 times. That discovery is worth more than $112 in market returns. You are 26 months in. You have contributed $2,600. The account reads $3,100. The number is starting to carry some weight, not life-changing weight, but noticeable weight. The kind of weight where you can see the shape of something that didn't exist before you started. And here's the kicker. Something shifts in year 2 that nobody warns you about. The checking happens less out of anxiety and more out of curiosity. You stop monitoring for disaster and start watching for growth. That is a psychological transition that takes most people longer than it took you, and some people never make it at all. The investor who checks their account out of fear and the investor who checks out of curiosity are holding the exact same fund. They are not having the same experience, and they will not make the same decisions when the market drops. The market drops? Of course it does. It drops 14% over 11 weeks starting in a month you'd prefer to forget for entirely unrelated reasons. You watch $380 disappear. The account that read $3,100 now reads $2,670. You feel it somewhere that is not quite your stomach and not quite your chest. You sit with it. You don't sell. You transfer the $100 on schedule because the schedule doesn't negotiate with market conditions. And here's what most people don't realize. That $100 buys more shares than it did 3 months ago because the prices are lower. You didn't celebrate this. You just continued. When the market recovers 8 months later, your account is at $3,900. The shares you bought during the drop are now worth more than what you paid for them. The discipline of the down months compounded quietly. It does this every single time. You will forget this every single time. The forgetting is fine, as long as the behavior doesn't change. Let's add this up. Year 3 ends. You have contributed $3,600. The account reads $4,750. You are up $1,150 beyond your contributions. The compounding is beginning to show up as a real number, not dramatic. Real. The gap between what you put in and what you have is widening in your favor, and it will continue to widen, and it will do so faster, and at some point the returns stop feeling like a bonus and start feeling like a second contributor. Like someone else is also putting money into your account every single month right alongside you. That someone is time. Time is the only investor who never misses a contribution, never panics, and never sells at the bottom. Alright, real talk. What month are you in right now? Month 1, month 6, month 30? Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious where you are in the journey. You are 29 years old. 60 months of $100, total contributions $6,000, account balance approximately $8,200 at a historical average annual return of 10%, which is roughly what the S&P 500 has delivered over the long run, not guaranteed, not promised, historically real, $8,200. You have $2,200 more than you deposited. You have more money set aside than the majority of Americans have in savings right now. Not because you earn more than them, not because you had advantages they didn't, because you started a specific habit at a specific time and maintained it through 12 months of nothing, a correction that felt personal, and a stretch in year 4 where you genuinely considered pausing and didn't. Now you might be thinking, but what about inflation? Doesn't that eat into these returns? And this is a fair question. Inflation has averaged around 2.8% over the last 40 years. So your real return on a 10% index fund is closer to 7.2% after inflation. That changes the 40-year number from $637,000 to roughly $260,000 in today's purchasing power. Still a significant number, still built from $100 a month. The math still works, it's just more honest when you include inflation, and honest is how we do things here. Here is what $8,200 is not. It is not retirement. It is not a down payment on its own. People will tell you that $8,200 is nothing in the context of long-term wealth, and they will be technically correct and completely wrong about what it actually means. Because $8,200 is not the number. $8,200 is the proof. The proof that you can build something from almost nothing over a sustained period of time, without a windfall, without a high income, without a perfect plan. The proof that the machine works if you feed it. The proof that you are the kind of person who feeds the machine. That identity is worth more than $8,200. The identity is what carries forward. Here's something nobody warns you about at the 5-year mark. Raises. You've probably gotten a raise since you started, maybe two. And here's the dangerous part. When that raise hit your checking account, your lifestyle expanded to meet it. New subscriptions, better restaurants, a slightly nicer version of things you already owned. But the $100 stayed at $100 because it was automatic and invisible and already accounted for. The people who accelerate past you are the ones who redirect even a fraction of every raise directly into the investment before the brain builds a lifestyle around it. Automatic raise capture is the move nobody talks about loudly enough. You are 5 years in. The account is growing, and something else is growing alongside it that has nothing to do with market returns. Your relationship with money is fundamentally different, not because you have more of it, but because you are conscious of it differently. You track where it goes. You understand the difference between spending that produces something and spending that produces only the moment. You don't deprive yourself. You are not living on discipline and apologies. You went on the trip. You bought the thing. You did it inside a structure that preserved the $100 because the $100 had become non-negotiable, not a sacrifice. A standard. Your patience is different. You have now watched the market go up and the market go down, and your instinct in both directions has changed. You no longer react, you observe. You understand that the red number on a given Tuesday morning is not information about the future. It is information about today, and today will pass, and the future does not care what Tuesday felt like. And something harder, the distance. There is a quiet separation that begins to open between you and people in your life who are not building anything. Not because you are better, because your priorities are different in a way that shows up in small decisions every day. And small decisions accumulate into a different kind of life. You feel this sometimes like a loneliness you can't quite name. You are moving in a direction that not everyone around you is moving. The movement is slow enough that nobody notices it yet, including you, until you look back and realize how far you've actually traveled. You are 34, 120 months. Total contributions $12,000. Account balance approximately $20,500. You have $8,500 more than you put in. The returns are now contributing meaningfully. In the last year alone, your portfolio returned roughly $1,700 without a single additional dollar of effort from you. Not from a raise, not from a second job, from the shares you bought over 10 years, compounding into each other. This is the part they try to explain in books and podcasts and financial planning sessions, and it never quite lands until you see it in your own account, with your own money. The returns are now contributing at a rate that is beginning to approach your monthly deposit. You put in $100. In an average year, the market is returning the equivalent of $140 a month on your existing balance. Your money is making money, not at a life-changing pace, but at a noticeable pace, and at a pace that is accelerating. Think about what you could build if you increase this. One commenter said it simply: as your income grows, your contribution can grow. The $100 of your 20s becomes $200 in your 30s, $400 in your 40s, and that compounding on a growing base is where the math gets genuinely difficult to ignore. $100 a month was never the ceiling, it was the floor, the starting line, not the finish line. But even without increasing it, even at $100 flat for 40 years, here is what the machine builds on its own. You are 44, 2 decades in, total contributions $24,000. Account balance at a 10% historical average, approximately $76,000. You have $52,000 more than you contributed. The gap between contribution and balance is now more than double your total investment. You did not do anything extraordinary to get here. You did not time the market. You did not pick the right stock. You did not have a mentor, an inheritance, or a break that changed everything. You had $100 a month in 20 years, and the compounding did what compounding does when you leave it alone long enough. $76,000 is a real number now. It is a number that changes decisions. It is a number with enough weight to serve as a foundation for something larger if you choose to build on it. And here is the part about year 20 that is easy to miss. The acceleration is just beginning. The account is not growing in a straight line. It is growing exponentially, and the exponential part is only now becoming visible to the naked eye. In year 1, the market returned $112. In year 10, it returned approximately $1,700 in a single year. In year 20, the account is returning roughly $7,000 annually. You put in $1,200 a year. The account adds $7,000. The machine has become the primary contributor. You are almost a passenger at this point. And the journey started with a $100 transfer on a Tuesday evening in an apartment you've since moved out of. You are 54. Total contributions $36,000. Account balance approximately $227,000. Over time, consistency and compound interest produced $191,000 that you never deposited, never earned at a job, and never won. You built it by doing one small thing every month for 30 years, and not stopping. At 54, with $227,000 in a portfolio averaging 10%, your account generates roughly $22,700 annually without touching the principal. That is nearly $1,900 a month from money that started as $100. The machine you built with Pocket Change is now producing income that approaches what many people earn working full-time, and there are still 10 years until traditional retirement age. You are 64. You have contributed $48,000 across 40 years of $100 monthly deposits. Your account balance at a historically average return, approximately $637,000. In today's purchasing power, inflation adjusted, that number is closer to $260,000. Still built entirely from $100 a month. Still a number that represents real security, real choices, and a real outcome for a real life. Pick the number that fits your worldview. Either one started with $100, $637,000 from $48,000, or $260,000. The difference, either way, was not earned at a desk. It grew through time, and through your refusal to stop, through the 48,000 small decisions you made every month when the $100 could have gone somewhere else and instead went here. Every month felt like nothing. Every month felt too small to matter. Every correction you didn't sell through. Every year that passed without drama or visible progress. Every Tuesday transfer that nobody congratulated you for. All of it stacked. All of it compounding. All of it here. Actually, let me put it a different way. You have been reading numbers. The numbers are real. The numbers matter. And the numbers are not what this is about. This is about the version of yourself you build when you decide that small and consistent beats large and eventual, because large and eventual is what most people are waiting for. The bigger paycheck, the bonus that finally makes sense to invest, the inheritance, the moment when the amount finally feels worth starting with. That moment does not come, and if it does come, the habit of waiting comes with it. The money disappears into a life that expanded to receive it, and nothing is built. Small and consistent is not a consolation prize for people who can't do more. It is the mechanism, it is how the machine runs. The person investing $100 a month and the person waiting to invest $1,000 a month arrive at 40 differently. The first one has decades of compounding and a permanent relationship with discipline. The second one has an intention that kept getting delayed, a savings account that kept getting raided, and the uncomfortable awareness that time was the only asset that was actually irreplaceable. Hear me out. Time does not wait for the right amount. It runs on whatever you give it. You gave it $100. You gave it every month. You gave it for 40 years. And it gave you back something that $100 alone could never buy, that waiting could never build, and that shortcuts could never manufacture. It gave you the proof that the smallest version of the right decision, repeated without stopping, becomes something that looks like luck from the outside and looks like discipline from the inside, and is in the end, the most ordinary, extraordinary thing a person can do with money. If this changed how you think about what $100 can actually do, pass it along to someone who's still waiting for the right time to start. The machine is open, $100 a month, starting now.